Is Portia Williams regretting her acceptance contract to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because these legal documents and the things that are being alleged about Simon is going to be up for a lot of questioning, I think. So, you know the drill. We need to talk about this. All right, my friends. So, you know how it goes. It seems that the timing of things is just coincidental because just a few days ago, I confirmed to you guys that Porsha Williams was definitely coming back for season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, we already kind of suspected that she had taken the break because she didn't want to come back after starting to be with Simon so quickly after he was with Fallon, and Fallon was on the show for a short time. It was a bit of a sticky mess. And then her spinoff was not so great either. So it seemed like they kind of took a break from TV and entertainment just so things could calm down and they could start to live their life as a married couple. But after reading some of these legal documents and reading what All About the Tea had to write about this story, I'm not certain. Well, I guess the question really is their marriage even legally recognized in the state of Georgia? And if it is recognized, where is it recognized? What country? Anyway, so we need to break that down because this couldn't have come at a more interesting time because we know that they're solidifying the cast. So it seems that Portia's going to have some splaining to do when it comes to Simon. But All About the Tea wrote, court documents reveal Porsha Williams' husband, Simon Guobadia, is a Nigerian scammer with multiple convictions for credit card fraud, bank fraud, and identity theft. He will be deported soon. So obviously it's a very dramatic title, but I did look through the court documents. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. They posted some of the pages from those court documents where it clearly maps out what his history was when he initially entered this country. I believe it was back in 1982. But it seems that, according to the court documents, Simon first entered the U.S. in 1982 on a visitor's visa and overstayed his welcome by allowing his visa to expire and not depart the country as promised. So he wasn't fulfilling his end of the bargain when it came to the visitor's visa. He then got married to a U.S. citizen and applied for an adjustment of status in 1985. His adjustment status application was denied because the Immigration and Naturalization Service, INS, deemed his marriage to be a sham. Well, yeah, it was a bit coincidental that you just all of a sudden ran over your time on your visitor's visa, and then all of a sudden you found someone, fell in love, and got married very, like, in that short time frame. His ex-spouse told INS that the couple never lived together and the marriage was never consummated. This triggered INS to initiate deportation proceedings, and Simon voluntarily left the United States. However, he was not done with the United States. He came back in 1986 on another visitor's visa. Once again, he overstayed his welcome. 6 months, that's the timeline. And then in 1987, Simon was arrested for bank and credit card fraud, to which he pled guilty to all the felony charges. Okay, so already not setting this up nicely for your citizenship profile when it comes to United States. In 1989, he was arrested again for unauthorized use of a vehicle, and in 1990 for fraud. Okay, so again with fraud. After multiple arrests spanning between 1987 and 1990, Immigration and Naturalization Service, INS, once again began deportation proceedings against Simon. Then in 1991, Simon committed credit card fraud again. Oh my, like, what is going on? How can you commit this much fraud when you're not even from here and then still think you're going to get citizenship? Okay. So it keeps going, you guys. It says in 1992, a judge ordered Simon be deported. He was forcibly removed from the United States of America. Back in 1988, Simon applied for a temporary resident status under a special immigration program called SAW, Special Agricultural Worker. However, he used a fake identity on the application and did not disclose his criminal history. As part of the program, Simon eventually received his green card in 1992, under fraudulent circumstances, mind you, 26 days after he was deported from the U.S. under his other identity, which has not yet been made public. I really don't know how she's going to be able to answer to these things. In a bold move, Simon applied for naturalization under his second identity in 2016. He submitted an application to transition his green card status to U.S. citizenship and was denied because his temporary resident status was unlawfully granted, meaning we know the green card that you're holding is not actually for you. It's under a different identity altogether. That was in 2016. In 2020, Simon sought U.S. citizenship once more, only to face denial. The United States immigration courts clarified that this application was rejected because he was not lawfully admitted for permanent residence. Referencing his fraudulent SAW application, his temporary resident status achieved through the SAW program and benefits had been based on a different identity and disqualifying criminal inadmissibility that was willfully concealed. It's not looking like he's ever going to be able to have citizenship here. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about a lot of things right now. Anyways, in October of 2022, Simon Guobadia's legal team sought a review of his citizenship application's denial, prompting a hearing. However, the court reaffirmed its initial decision to reject his application. Persisting in his efforts, Simon filed a complaint in 2023, urging that the government's refusal of his application be overturned. Nevertheless, the court dismissed his complaint and maintained its stance, refusing Simon's request for naturalization. The fact that this man had the audacity to keep going back and fighting this when it was so clear that he was already caught being fraudulent multiple times, and then having a green card under a different identity, it blows my mind. And what lawyer was being like, yeah, I'm totally going to take this on and defend this for you? That is insane, you guys. So I'm not sure where that leaves Porsha in terms of what her storyline is going to look like, but it really is starting to shape up like it's going to be about Simon, because how can it not? These things are going to obviously be brought up. She's coming back. I know that things seem coincidental. This seems a little too coincidental, not in the sense that I think it was planted, but I think someone saw that she was coming back and decided this was the right time to release this information. Quite honestly, this doesn't paint him in the best picture. A shout out to All About the Tea. I read you guys a majority of what those legal documents specify, and shout out to the Neighborhood Talk, who I saw the screenshots of the actual court documents listing all of the things that I just read to you guys. But in my opinion, I think the whole thing from the beginning, like their whole start of their relationship, was a little bit wonky in the way that it happened. I think we all can kind of agree to that, which is why she kind of took a step back from being on these shows, because it was starting to be highlighted more and more that the stories were off. Now, my question is, where does their marriage actually, where is it legal at? Like, what part of the globe? Because if this is the case, how could he get married under a name that was already flagged for deportation back in like the early 90s? And if he used the second identity that's on his green card, then I guess she's legally married, but legally married to not Simon. They better hope that second identity doesn't get leaked, because people are going to go ape poo-poo over digging up what that name's attached to. So I don't know, you guys. I will keep you posted on all the updates, but I do think this is very interesting timing considering we have a new season of Housewives of Atlanta filming, hopefully very soon. Anyways, guys, as always, let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload. All right, and until the next video, guys, I'll talk to you on the next one.